impacting the women around us. So our mission is to help women elevate by owning our crown and identity, creativity, and power to build fulfilling lifestyles through passions. We uplift through mind, body, and soul. So a little bit more about me. My name's Kelvonna for long, Kels for short. I'm one of the Queen leaders, which if you're new to our calls, a Queen leader basically just means that we're on this journey of a healthy lifestyle and empowering women, and we help lead other queens to do the same thing. That's pretty much it. So I came around a few years ago, about 5 years ago, started on my health journey. I lost 30 pounds on my nutrition plan, which was really exciting. And it definitely boosted my confidence. I can say that I've been confident in many different areas in my life, but I haven't always been just confident in just being truly myself. But this journey has definitely encouraged that. It started with the weight loss, but then I realized it was deeper than that. You know, there's some limiting beliefs that I had to get over. There's some confidence I had to build in owning my voice and speaking my truth. And that's something that I'm really excited. Events like this, like our Queen Connect events, like our challenges, if you're a part of our challenge, like really just being around other powerful women has helped bring that out within me. So I'm thankful for that. And tonight, when we go over our topic, which is really exciting, and I'm glad you ladies tuned into, things get real. Like the conversations that we have in RAINN, we aim to really uncover things that we don't normally talk about. So we want you to know that this is a safe space for you. So in order to encourage that and let you know how serious we are about this being a safe place, we have our pledge and commitment statement. So we read this, you see that blank space, that's where you're gonna insert your name. You can stay muted, but just make sure your lips are moving and you're saying your name and follow along with me. So as a woman of RAINN, I, Kels, pledge to strive for excellence in my pursuit to be a strong and loving woman. I will fight to be better in all aspects of my life with the help and support from the RAINN family. I will be responsible to the tasks that I commit to within RAINN and let my integrity show through my actions. I understand that change starts from within. I commit to proper nutrition and fitness for the health and wellness of my body. As I look in the mirror to humble myself, I will become a better support to others and always have their best interests at heart. I commit to the confidentiality of RAINN and understand that the information I learn from my involvement will stay within our group. I will walk in the name of love to the best of my ability. So if you can agree, if that sounds like something you could get down with, go ahead and give us thumbs up. Awesome. Okay, I'm looking, scrolling to the second page. All right, good. All right, so I can't say it enough. I'm so excited about this topic for tonight. I think the message is going to be amazing. The woman that is going to deliver the message is definitely someone who's played a big part in the growth of me, just standing in who she is powerfully, definitely. Like, as you let your light shine, if you know that quote, your presence automatically does that for others. So give it up for Miss Amanda Marshall. Mrs.
Thank you. Mrs. Right. I get that wrong too, girl. I'm like, Mrs. something. We out here living our best life. What's up, queens? I'm so excited for you to be on here. Many of you are in our self-love challenge, and some of you are not. But regardless of where you're entering from, I know that, you know, we're all really striving to be better in our lives and grow and step into goals and, you know, really choose to be better women. And so tonight's going to be all about that. Queens coming together, choosing to rise together. And it's just so amazing to have people like Kelvonna in your corner that are going to not only edify your gifts and help you to become better, but also like check you when you need to be checked. And so I'm really excited about tonight because I believe that, you know, we all rise better together. And as we come together with that love that she opened this call with, I know that we'll leave this call with more love in our heart to then go ahead and uplift another queen. You know, I truly believe that a true queen, a true woman of power is somebody who is willing to uplift those around her. And we absolutely represent that to the core in every single one of us. But we're all, you know, not perfect. None of us are perfect, right? So we get to love ourselves. So I just want to meet each of you where you're at tonight. I know with so much going on in the world, some of you are entering this call with a little anxiety, maybe feeling a little overwhelmed. We have so much happening. The debate last night that many of us may have watched 20 minutes of and was like, bruh, I can't, is this really my future, right? And it's just crazy. It's like sad that it's funny, but it's funny, right? There is a level of that. And then you have so much stuff going on with just our own personal lives, things that we're dealing with personally. You know, my mom has leukemia. My brother has a step below that, a blood cancer that's almost just like leukemia. So they're going through so much in that, you know, and I know each of you have your own things that are happening in your own life. And so I just really want to meet each of you where you are. And just really like get connected to where you are. So if we could just close our eyes and release the news, everything that's happening in the news, the court case with Breonna Taylor, if George Floyd is still on your heart, Kobe Bryant may be somebody that you're just upset over. Like, I get that there's so much happening in 2020 as a whole that sometimes we just have to take a moment and just take a deep breath and release it, so that we may be present for ourselves, so that we may be here to really choose to step into our power, but give ourselves grace. Maybe you have a house full of kids and it's a lot. I don't know where you are, and I don't know what you're dealing with, but I just want your heart to come forward today and be open to receive whatever you're supposed to receive tonight. And I want each of you to know that I honor you. My words are in alignment with protecting your heart, but sometimes in that protection of your heart, I have to bust it wide open, right? We have a joke about busting wide open that most of you are like, what are you talking about? Yeah, we're a little crazy here at Reign. However, it's very, very important that we know that we're safe, okay? And I just want to make sure that we have fun, we have joy. You know, I definitely feel like I'm low-key a comedian. My dad and my brother told me I wasn't funny my whole life. So you know what? I'm going to make people laugh if I can. But I also want to be serious with you and you guys to know that I really do take your hearts into consideration when you join these calls. So let's get started. For some of you that are just joining now, I definitely want to introduce myself. So my name is Amanda Marshall. I am just in love with becoming. But in the process of becoming, I don't want to neglect the journey, right? So we don't need to be looking so far ahead that we're not enjoying where we are now, but not just that, who we are now. Sometimes we can be grateful over the house and the car and the things that we have today, but are you really grateful and at peace with who you are today? Because sometimes in looking at where you need to go and who you need to become, and girl, I just made that mistake and I don't know if I'm worthy and I don't know if I'm deserving, all of those conversations won't allow you to really be powerful in right now. And today we're going to be talking about your belief and your confidence to go after things that you want in your life, your goals, your desires. But I don't want to just start a conversation about the future without getting connected to the present. And for me, that's what my journey has been. It's being gracious over the level that I'm at today, knowing that I still have power right now to impact people's lives today, that I may not have the power to impact in the future, because my future self will be at a different level and my attraction will be different. But today I have a certain level of impact, a certain level of gratitude that I get to be inside of for myself. Accepting my mistakes, accepting my flaws, accepting the places that I still need growth, but knowing that I'm still good and well today. And in me falling in love with myself, I knew more women needed that self-love. More women needed to be able to know that you're worthy today despite where you've been. Your mistakes don't define who you are. And so before we can really talk about the level of belief and confidence that you have, we have to analyze who we are and not identify ourselves in what we are. So how are you looking at you? When somebody asks you who you are, do you identify yourself as a wife and a mother and, you know, a woman of empowerment and those things? I think those are great things, but they're titles. You're also a woman of substance, a woman with a heart, a woman that may have ambition and drive, but some of the external things can make us feel worthy or unworthy. And so really we get to talk about the way that we see ourselves and how that then transcends into our beliefs, which is going to impact our confidence, which is then going to impact the way we move in our lives and the things that we go after. And so I'm into the topic already, but that's who I am. I'm Amanda Marshall, and I just really want to give you everything that I can tonight to help you become a better woman, and whatever that looks like is beautiful. I believe in taking care of your body. I believe in getting in partnership with who you are. And it's really important. And as I chose myself, as I believed in myself, as I stepped into more confidence, I was able to then choose to go after goals that maybe I wouldn't have in the past. Getting fit, getting healthy. I've been able to drop 23 pounds, put on 27 pounds of healthy weight. And although that's like a yay applaud for the hard work that it takes, I can tell you that there was a level of belief and confidence that was required for me to be able to do that. And one thing about us here at Reign is that we will believe in you, and we'll have the confidence in you before you might have it in yourself. But what insecurities do you need to rise above so that way you can see the greatness that's down on the inside of you? What's the inner mirror in you looking like? How is the reflection of yourself impacting you? And because of that, how are you choosing to carry out your life? So many times we have these blind spots, and we do things and we don't know why we do them. And we carry this belief about ourselves that may be false because of a false image that was portrayed from somebody else in your life. And now their false image of who you are and the identity in which they see you has created a crack in your mirror. And now you have a distorted picture of yourself. And then that's then impacting the way that you believe, the confidence that you have, the way that you set and you go after your goals. And we can talk about goals in weight loss, goals in buying a house, goals in buying a car, but also a goal in maybe starting a new business, going after like the bigger things, applying for the job, looking to get a raise or a position that maybe you don't feel like you're qualified or deemed worthy for. I don't know what goals you have in your life, but I can tell you right now that your ability to see or go after the things that you want is gonna absolutely be impacted on the way that you see yourself. That inner mirror is so, so, so vital. And today we're not here to just expose that the mirror is broken, because all of us have a broken mirror, by the way. We all have a distorted image of ourselves. However, we want to tap into that thing. That way you don't only look at your brokenness, but you know, one, you're not alone, but you're worthy anyway. You have grace anyway. Even though I've made mistakes, God has provided opportunity in a new day to go after new goals and to choose to put my action in my faith despite my past. Your past doesn't dictate your future unless you let it, unless you allow that thing to. Right? So what is that inner mirror looking like for you? And how is it impacting the belief that you have down on the inside of you to become more? So, so, so powerful and important as we set goals, right? And so just think about that. What is the identity that you see of yourself? How are you speaking to yourself? A spinoff of Monday's call for some of you are just joining, tonight for the first time, but you really get to get clear on the way that you're speaking to yourself, because that has a lot to do with the belief that you have. If you're saying you can't do this, you're a procrastinator, you never get things done, you're just a failure. Maybe you're repeating things that somebody else has told you at some point. And how is that now impacting your confidence in just walking in a room and knowing that you add value? It doesn't always have to be this huge thing and like going after this huge goal. Sometimes it's just simply your belief in the value that you bring in just being. Do you realize that you matter? Do you realize that you matter so much that your impact, your energy, you entering an environment can shift it? And what I believe is that when we have a false identity, we don't realize our worth. We don't have the confidence or belief within ourselves. So then we walk around blindly. And we don't realize that we're actually doing it, right? But because we're walking around blindly, we may be cutting people who didn't even hurt us. You don't even realize your power. If you don't realize your power, sometimes you don't realize literally your power. So when you enter in a room and you don't see yourself and you're not aware of yourself, you're causing this energy inside of your relationships, inside of your home, that you don't even realize. But that's how powerful you are. Have you ever seen somebody that has the ability to shift the room just with their energy? Literally walks in and it's like, whoa, either good or bad. Some of you may know one of our friends named Tori. Some of you may not, but he's somebody that comes to my mind. And if you just looked around right now, I don't know if you're seeing each other, but a lot of the queens here in Arizona, right when I said his name, they smiled. Me talking about him brought a happiness to people. You don't have to know Tori to really understand this. Tori is somebody who brings joy. He's funny. He's awesome. He brings great energy. He doesn't even mean to, but he just constantly just makes you laugh. Thinking of him makes you laugh. Anybody know Kevin Hart? Okay, who doesn't, right? He pops up on the screen and I laugh like I'm weak. Like he didn't do nothing. I can't hear him. My phone is muted and I just scroll past him and it's funny. Good energy. So what's the energy that people feel about you? When people say your name, when you're not around, what's the feeling that people get? Or better yet, when you leave the room, what's the energy that you leave people with? Every single one of us have the power to shift environments when we come and when we go. Every single one of us. And when we're not aware of it, sometimes that unawareness, and if we don't believe in ourselves, we don't value ourselves, we're leaving negative energy, ladies. You're still leaving an energy unknowingly. And so that's why self-discovery is so important, because it'll shift the way you operate. When you realize that you have that kind of power down on the inside of you, you will be more intentional in the way that you arrive, in the way that you leave. And trust me, I understand this more than anybody. It's not always easy. When you're a woman going after a goal, here's an example for me. When we had our gym, right, we would be putting on all these big events. When we did rain events in person, we would have a abs and booty workout in person, right? And there was all these things that had to be taken care of. And then after that, we would go on to the other side of the building and we would do a presentation and we would have all of this live. We'd have chairs sitting up. Everybody would sit down at the chairs. And then, Tay would play the sax and somebody would open, just like we do here on the call, to the best of our ability. But all of that was happening in person. So sometimes my mind would be so focused on did somebody get the papers out for the registration? Did somebody put the whiteboard up? Did they write it up right? All these things are going on in my head, but God made me aware of my powers so much that I needed to make sure that I was still loving on people, that I was still stopping to say hi to people as they walked in. So I want you to be aware of yourself so much, because sometimes when we have things going on in our head and we have tasks that we need to accomplish, and we have all these things, sometimes you don't realize that your one-track mind is actually making somebody else feel like they don't matter. And that's something I had to recognize in myself. I had to stop and be like, Amanda, you matter in just saying hi to somebody. You have to stop and say, hey, what's up? Because they don't know that you have a million things on your mind. But it shouldn't matter in the way we treat people just because we're ambitious. Does this make sense? It's so important. It's small, but it's big at the same time. How are you treating the kids because you're busy? Are they still getting your love? Are they still feeling valued? Because sometimes we don't realize that we're creating. Think about the things you look at today. And you're like, oof. I'm trying to overcome rejection. I'm trying to overcome abandonment. I'm trying to be understood because nobody heard me. Mama never heard me. She told me to shut up all the time. How are you now doing the same thing to children that you have in your life? It's something I'm aware of with my daughter, because I can be easy to be like, girl, go play in your room for a little bit. We can still have healthy boundaries, okay? I need a moment, baby girl. I just need a moment. However, I get to check myself and I get to make sure that my I don't want to be bothered energy isn't going to create an insecurity in my daughter that she then grows up with and she has to overcome. None of us are going to be perfect, but we get to be aware. We get to be aware of how our abandonment issues are projected off on other people, and we're creating the same energy that we feel inside. This is so important. And as we get to discover ourselves more, we get to change the way that we see ourselves, things will start to shift. You'll have a true identity and a true security, but otherwise we operate off of false securities, which is what? Insecurities that validate us. Maybe you have an insecurity of being lonely, so you go and you see a man that you know is going to leave you broken by the end of that night, but the false security of the moment of being with him is more important than the permanent fulfillment and security of not being alone or whatever it is. Sometimes we have to go through those motions, ladies, in order to find the confidence and belief within ourselves to know that we're worthy on our own. It may not be something we deserve, but by the grace of God, we have it. And we get to keep choosing to rise, ladies, every single day. It's so important. And I know that women on this line can share their testimonies about how they have overcome feeling insecure and not having belief in themselves, and then rising in their confidence, because they really connect. Your insecurities, your triggers, right? Your pain points, the things that bother you impact the way you see yourself. And the way that you see yourselves impacts, obviously, your confidence and your belief in the things that you can do. How can we choose to build a business, to write a book, to lose the weight, to go after greater things if we can't even believe in ourselves at the smallest level? And so that's why I break things down to the smallest little things that sometimes don't seem like they connect, but they do. The way that you're treating other people is a true reflection of how you feel inside. And the reflection of how you feel inside is your belief and confidence in who you are. Oof, it's so important. It's so important, ladies. And so the first lady that I have the honor of passing this over to is somebody that I have seen grow. But even before she's continued to step into her greatness, and she has her journey beyond Reign, but I can tell you that I've always felt good around her. I've always felt in good energy. She has a good character. You knew that she was somebody that would take care of you. And as she continued to uncover herself and discover more about herself, now she just intentionally sets herself up in a way that provides value to every woman in her life. And I can tell you that we need people like this in our corners, somebody who will pray for you when you ask them to. Not just say that they'll pray. You know how many people, hey, can you pray for my mom on Facebook? And people are like, yeah, I got you. I'm going to pray for your mom. This woman is going to pray for you. She's not going to type it out. She's going to stop. She's going to pray. She's going to go and hold for you in spaces that you can't necessarily hold for yourself. And I don't know if she realizes how much value she's added to my life. But I truly hope she does, because I'm grateful every single day that she's in my corner. So I'm going to pass it over to this incredible, incredible woman who just finished out her master's, y'all. She's incredible. She's phenomenal. She's doing great things. She's definitely going after ambition, but she does it with a grateful, loving, cheerful heart. And that's what I honor about her so much. So give it up for Sarah.
I was like, stop talking, Amanda, before I'm like, thank you so much. Hi, ladies. My name is Sarah. I have been a queen leader with these amazing, amazing queens for 2 years now. And it's just been an incredible journey. But like most of the queens on here that you'll hear about, like my journey started from a lack of confidence. Not only was there a lack of confidence in myself, in my physical self, because I was overweight after, establishing unhealthy habits with, not being active in the way that I was eating and feeling my body. But it was also just the years of limiting beliefs and things that I told about myself that I started to believe over time, or things, that other people might have thought about me or said about me that, actually started to manifest. And so I took that on as that's who I am. I took that on as my own identity. But when I made the decision that I needed to be better, or I had to be better, and that I have the capability to be a better woman, I took that on by first taking care of myself physically. And so after college, I was at a point where I was just super uncomfortable in my own skin, that I just felt uncomfortable. I felt frumpy is another word. So I would buy clothes that were 2 times bigger just to try to cover myself. And and cover, you know, myself physically. And so when I made that decision, ladies, I was able to drop 22 pounds in 90 days, in my first 90 days. And from there, I've just been able to go on and design my body the way that I want to. I've been able to just, you know, learn how to be active and learn to find a habit or a schedule that fit for me, fit for my schedule, being, you know, a full-time student at one point, and still, you know, being a leader for other queens and other women, and finding something that would work for me, but knowing that the small disciplines every single day is what counted. And from there, I've been able to just continuously work on myself. For, you know, the past 2.5 years of being a queen leader, I've been able to truly take on these self-love challenges and take on the workshops that we used to do in person, and, you know, our talks and all these, and really apply it to my life, because all of this will not matter if you don't apply it to yourself, if you don't do the work, if you don't take that second to really look at yourself, your inner self, and figure out, where is it that I want to go, and where am I now? How am I going to get there? What small little things do I have to do? Don't even think about the bigger picture. Think about the small things. What can you do today? What can you do tonight? What can you do tomorrow that's going to help you to be better, just a better woman, not only for yourself, but for everybody else around you? And I know that can be overwhelming because, like Amanda said, we have so many different titles that we get so caught up in it, but it's you. It's you. You are the one that matters, and you are the only person who's going to get there, because that purpose is yours. That vision that you have is yours. And so how are you going to work on that little by little? And so it's just been an incredible journey, not only being able to help queens that some that I don't even know. I meet on Instagram. I've met at freaking Tempe Marketplace in the grocery store. Some have been people that I've known for years, my little sister and all this. But it's just been an incredible journey because it started with me making that small change physically that's led to changes in my confidence, in my belief in myself. So thank you, ladies.
She got me all in my feels over here, like I can do it. But this is what happens when you surround yourself with powerful women. And it's crazy because I've heard Sarah's story so many times, but I relate so much to it. So for those of you who don't know, my name is Jenny. I came in kind of for the same reasons, just lost, broken, hurting, and I didn't realize this until this weekend, ladies, but this all stems from a fear of rejection that I had from when I was a little girl. And I'm so grateful that I had this realization, because although I've done the work on myself, I realized how much that fear of rejection has been holding me back in every area of my life. But I'm so grateful for this sisterhood for loving on me, because this is where I truly found who I am. My mirror was so broken. All I saw were all the little cracks in my mirror. I couldn't see the whole pieces. I was so focused on all of the things that I thought were wrong with me. But through this sisterhood and being able to partner with my body, I've lost 24 pounds, gone from a size 16 to a size 9. That was where it started for me. The sisterhood helped me to physically shed the weight, but then we started working on my mindset and my spirituality, and they've really allowed me to see who I am just the way God sees me, just how beautiful I am. Because before this, I didn't have that. Losing the weight allowed me to take off that mask I'd been hiding behind for years. The mask of the weight, I allowed that to define who I was. And through that, ladies, it gave me a belief and a confidence that I've never had in myself, to learn who I am, to love who I am. And through that, I realized that there are hundreds of thousands of women in the world who felt like I used to feel. And it would be a disservice to them if I didn't pay it forward and start helping them figure out who they are, to help them to heal their inner mirror, help them to get to their physical goals. And it's also this sisterhood, which has been amazing. There are people on here, like my girl Gabby is a friend of my sister. Like, I didn't know her before this, and it's been amazing to build a connection with her because she's so freaking incredible. I know she's getting ready to go to work soon. She's on that night shift life, but had I not said yes to myself and then to pay it forward, I would never have gotten to meet her beautiful soul. And I have other people too, but ladies, it's just amazing what happens when you really just get to know who you are and break through that fear that you have, whether, like Amanda said, fear of rejection, abandonment, all of that. I'm telling you, if you don't push through that, it's going to hold you back, and you are so worthy of everything that this life has for you. So that's all I'm going to share tonight, but I love you ladies so much.
Yes, Jenny, and we absolutely love you too, girl. You make my heart smile. Somebody I've definitely leaned on during this season. Thank you so much. Hi, Queens. My name is Cass. I'm Queen Leader Cass. I've been a part of this, my journey started actually 7 years ago. I've been a part of REIGN for 2 years, coming up on 3 years. But 7 years ago, I was fresh out of 6 years of school, just completed, a degree, was looking for something new, and I was actually starting my spiritual journey at the same time. So I was linked with a group of ladies at the time, and, they were like, okay, let's go to this workout. So I was like, okay, let's go. Because at the time I was just looking for something more. I was looking to be a part of a community. Amanda, I saw a little smile because you could just think about the first time that we went to our first workout. I didn't want to work out, y'all, but I wanted to be a part of something. So I actually went to the workout, started my actual nutrition plans, dropped 20 pounds my first 2 months, went from a size 13 down to a size 2. But over this journey, y'all, I found myself. I'm somebody that has suffered from what I call abandonment issues. So Jenny just talked about fear of rejection. I have abandonment issues. I believe that all women have something at some point, whether it's abandonment, rejection, this or that, like we have something we're going through. And when you're in your early 20s, you're trying to discover who you are. You're like, all right, what do I do? But Amanda at the time was somebody that took me through my spiritual journey. I don't think she realizes how much of an impact. We didn't go to church together, but she's somebody that made me say, I really want to do that. I really want to go to church. I became a church admin. I did all of this. But over the years, I was like, man, you have so many limited beliefs. I recently was thinking today, what are some of the limited beliefs you've overcame? And some of them have been financial. But even recently, as we grow, we still have them. And this amazing group of ladies are somebody that helped me grow through them. A couple of months ago, we were on one of our calls about Black Lives Matter, and I said, they don't want my face, they want my intellect. And I realized that's such a limited belief you have about yourself, Cass. Who are you to say that people only want you for your brain or for your smarts or for your education? Who are you to dismiss that they want your face or who you represent as a person? And I was like, wow, have you really been holding yourself back in corporate America, in your work life, and different things? And this is the group that's helped me see that. I'm not sure if I would have overcame that thought if I didn't understand my place in life, if I didn't understand my gifts, if I didn't understand the things that I can bring to the table. I was looking at things as, oh, they just want me because, I'm the one that's going to get everything done. I'm the meticulous one. I'm the one at work that can present. But these ladies have really loved on me and helped me to see that it's more than just the color of your skin. It's more than just the way you look. You bring something more to this world, and your gifts are getting pulled out. And it might be getting pulled out in a season that's uncomfortable, but that doesn't mean that it's not important. And with that being said, ladies, something that recently I became super passionate about is diversity and inclusion. And something that I asked our queens if I could share on is just the power of voting. I was looking up some things today, and I was like, man, do women understand the power that they have with voting? And as I read this, it says American women won the right to vote on August 18, 1920. I don't know if anybody realizes that, but that's 100 years ago, just 100 years ago that women were allowed to start to vote. Think about that. Some of us, my grandmother is 92 years old. So just when she was 8 years old, women were allowed to start to vote. Like, that's crazy when you really think about it. I was digging a little bit deeper, and I was like, do women understand how powerful they are? I went through the 2016 election, and 53% of voters were women. That's more than men. That's how powerful we are. Women elected who our president was in 2016, 53% of women. But the one thing that stood out to me, 37% of that 53 were white American women. 7% were Black, 6% were Latino, and the rest were other. Look around on the call. There's a huge representation of everything I just said, but is there a huge representation of us at the polls? I know a lot of people believe in voter suppression. I do as well. But I believe that with this conversation, limited beliefs, confidence, all of that, we have to stand up and we have to vote. We have to know that your voice matters. It doesn't only matter in presidential elections, but it matters in your local elections too. A lot of people look at like Amanda said, the conversation that happened last night, but understand that the conversations go a little bit deeper. They happen on the tax laws that are being passed in the city you live in. They happen with the judges that are being elected in the states that you live in. So definitely I want to encourage you ladies to get out and vote. One of my favorite websites is at the bottom, and I'm actually going to put it in all of our chats, but it's Vote 411. It is one of the best sites I've ever been to. It's actually by the League of Women, who are the women, the league technically, that fought for us in 1920. They've been around since 1920. It's a very informative site. It's nonpartisan. It's not biased. It's not going to tell you to go one way or the other. It's just going to give you everything you need. It will tell you how to register. It'll teach you what's on your ballot if you've never voted. It'll teach you how to read a ballot. It'll tell you what you need if you're a first-time voter, what checklist you need. And it'll also tell you your registration deadlines, which I really want to stress. My last thing, for Arizona, you have to be registered by October 5th. I was looking at some of the states that popped in here. Virginia, you have to be registered by October 13th. Maryland, you have to be registered by October 13th. Wisconsin, Gabby, got to be registered by October 21st. So definitely push you ladies to get out there and vote. Know that your voice matters. Spread the word. Tell the people around you. And I'm going to go ahead and pass it to the next queen.
Yes, so powerful. Thank you, Cass. That was so needed. So powerful. So powerful to educate yourself. So powerful to just have the knowledge and just really take action. Hi, ladies. My name is Raquel, and I am a daughter of an immigrant. So yes, please vote. But I will share a little bit about myself. That is me right there with my two beautiful children. I am a mother of two, and my self-love journey started because of my kids. I wanted to be more for them. I wanted to be a better example. I wanted to love myself so I could teach my daughter to truly love herself. You know, so that was my priority. And when I decided to just really love myself, it started with just working out, watching what I was eating. And then I was introduced into this amazing sisterhood. I decided to take it a little bit further and hopped on a nutrition plan and was able to lose a total of 52 pounds, which transformed me physically, but it transformed me mentally. It transformed me spiritually. It transformed me as a whole. It taught me so much. The weight loss was great, but everything I gained with it was just better for me. This topic for me has just been something that for a long time, I did not believe in myself. I did not have confidence. I had layers that I put on top in front of me for people to believe that I was confident. I did modeling, I did club promoting, I did all of that. And all of those things were just me seeking validation because I did not believe in myself. I did not love myself. So I needed other people to see pictures of me and validate me for who I wanted to be, not for who I truly was. And a picture I'm going to share with you guys, actually, it's in my heart, is my daughter drew this for me. And it's a picture of me, and she has a little necklace, and it says Queens. And it just really touched my heart because it's like, dang, that's how my daughter sees me now. Had I not invested in myself 3 years ago, what would that picture look like? You know? And so for me, that's why I don't give up. That's why I push a little bit harder every time. And that's why I get emotional, because they're my heart. You know, I wanted to be a better example for them. And I'm just so grateful that I continue to push myself for my daughter to see me this way, you know? So that's just really a little bit about me. I'm super grateful for this group of women. They push me, they make me better, they help me, they hold for me, they take care of my children, they love on my children. They're everything, you know? And I'm just so grateful because 3 years ago, these women were strangers. And now I call them my friends, my family. They're in my home. I trust them, you know, and it's needed. You need a support of women, a support group of women to hold for you. It's needed mentally, for mental health, for self-love, for all of that is needed. So that's a little bit about me. I get to have the honor to close the call. So I'm going to share a few next steps with you guys. The first step is just join our squad. Come have fun with us. Lock arm with us with our vision, our mission to impact women's lives and create a source of additional income. For me, I do this business part-time. I help women elevate and love on themselves, and I earn additional income. And that additional income has helped me so much, you know, to build my own businesses and just really have a little of peace in my financial burden as a single mother. And then the next step is schedule your one-on-one Queen Elevation to set goals and just work on your mind, body, and soul. So that just is having a simple conversation with the Queen Leader who invited you into this call and just sharing your vision. What are your goals? What are you working towards? And how we can help you with that. And then the third step is just join and invite to our Queen Connects, you know. Our sisterhood Zoom calls, which is this call that you're on right now, happens every single Wednesday. And our topics are always turning, they're always different topics. Next week, the topic will be turning your passions into profit. And it's the same link. So this link that you got to come into this call, save it into your notes, set an alarm, invite other women that you know that can benefit from this, because we rise better together. And really, that's it for me. I want to thank you all for just taking the time, joining us, and just elevating with us. You guys are all gonna be unmuted, so say bye, and thank you for joining us. Bye, ladies.
Ladies, have a good night.
Ladies, have a good
Bye,
night.
ladies.
Hi, good night.
Ladies, good night.
Bye, have a good night.
Allie's gonna run in here eventually.
Yeah.
We're waiting for him, girl.
Callie, go to Kels. Yep, they went to
Pick the
Kels.
computer. Oh, okay.
Somebody, because he's gonna be mad if he doesn't say bye. There we go.
Bye, guys.
Hi.
Bye,
Hi, ladies. When you gotta wait for my children to be able to get off the call.
Right?
Hi, ladies. Bye.
Hi, ladies.
Bye, ladies.
Good night.